have our next guest, and I'm honored to have the folks from PTZOptics here, and we have Mr. Paul Richards. Thank you so much for coming in. I rushed this gentleman at the very last second, and he had a busy schedule, but fortunately he carved some time in. He has an amazing product line, and I'm going to be quiet. I see we have Matthew, and I can't see who we have back there.
Tess Protesto.
Tess, okay. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate that. And Paul, let's turn it over to you.
Okay, so I thought we'd all introduce ourselves. I'm Paul Richards. I am the Chief Streaming Officer here at PTZOptics.
I'm Matthew Davis. I'm the lead engineer.
And I'm Tess Protesto. I'm the Social Media Marketing Manager.
Wow, we got everybody here, huh?
Yeah, I thought we'd bring
cool.
the whole team.
Together,
Bring the whole family
Nice,
here.
nice.
Matt has been getting on camera quite a bit with the new tech folks. He just finished the integration of the NDI.
Nice.
Which, as many of you may know, that's an IP protocol for low latency integration with the TriCasters and VMix
That is
and Wirecast.
definitely the buzzword of the century, I think, and we're actually using NDI to facilitate this broadcast.
So I just want to do a quick introduction to why people are looking into PTZOptics cameras. Here we have about 4 or 5, maybe 6 of them set up here. And the thing that it allows a single camera operator, we've got one guy over there with a joystick controller operating, looks like 5 cameras.
So happy to see Live You using them today.
It's so great to see you guys using the cameras here.
It's our only choice.
And it's actually, so you guys are actually streaming all of these cameras.
Yes.
It looks like they're all plugged in via SDI.
Yes.
Into the Live View boxes.
Correct.
They're all streaming back to Scottsdale, Arizona, and
That's
you're
correct.
switching there.
That's correct, which is amazing.
That is impressive.
It is impressive. And you know what? It's worked from day one, which is impressive, because there's always some technical.
I have no idea what you're
this has
talking
worked
about.
flawlessly, and yes, we are using all your PTZ cameras, no question about that. And we can choose anybody's cameras we want here, and both Live View and the Gadget Professor tremendously appreciate using these because they work real well, as you know.
So that's the basic need that we've solved, is at creating affordable, high-quality cameras. The company's slogan is broadcast quality made affordable. And so we've got 1080p 60 video.
Yep.
You guys are using SDI. There's HDMI. There's IP streaming. There's NDI.
Important to note that they are PTZ cameras, so they have the pan-tilt zoom functionality as well.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. They come in any flavor you want. So I can do HDMI. I can do SDI. That's pretty much all I use. But each camera is available to do either or. Do they do simultaneous?
Yes, so every output except for the old school composite video.
What is that?
Exactly.
I like your thinking. Simultaneous, all at the same time.
See, this is what I like about the PTZOptics cameras, is that, sometimes you have a system, and we did back in the old days, it just took HDMI. Now you can always go through an HDMI to an SDI converter, and they work fine, and we still use those. There's no issues with that. But what's nice about these particular cameras is that you're able to select at will HDMI or SDI, and what's a killer, really, is that I say simulcast, that's not technically the word, but they'll put out the stream through both the HDMI and the SDI, so you can have them both wired and away you go.
Yeah, maybe we could show the back of just one of them. We've got a white one here and a gray one. The white ones are really popular for churches. But one of the things on the back of this camera that surprises people is just how many connectors there are.
Right.
So as you mentioned, there's SDI, HDMI, and one of the things Matt's done with the IP streaming, we mentioned the new tech NDI, but he also put in power over Ethernet.
That is correct.
So just a single cable at that point.
It's one cable. It's what everybody's kind of been dreaming about for a number of years, and we are finally getting there.
So we're going to use a router to supply that power, just so.
Yeah, you just throw a PoE switch in there, and everything comes live. It's a beautiful thing.
It sure is. It sure is. It eliminates the need for that power pack.
Now you can have power control and streaming all over the Ethernet cord, so it's pretty cool.
Now you can also do remote control via a tablet with these.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a brand new iOS app, and we're releasing it for Android now. A lot of new features there that have been added, but just to be able to control up to 8 cameras with your iPhone or Android, it really makes it very easy. Preset control, And I think for the new generation, for the younger folks coming in, to be able to control 8 cameras with their phone, just with almost as if like an Xbox or a game controller, it just makes it kind of come alive for them, as opposed to maybe using a traditional joystick or a broadcast switcher.
And 8 cameras is a lot of cameras. I don't even have 8 cameras here. So
eight's a lot to handle all in one
sure is.
swoop.
Now, just for clarification, I'm getting questions. On the connection to the router, okay, if you had 4 cameras and you want to provide power, you need 4 pops off the...
Yeah, so you'd want, if you're doing 4 cameras, you'd want to make sure you got the power in your switch to supply it for 4 cameras. But if you've got a PoE switch, doesn't need to be PoE plus, you're going to be good to go.
Right.
One of the other things that has become really popular with us is that Matt has also built the same PoE and NDI functionality into our Zcam models. So these are less than $1,000. I think this one actually starts at $499, and so it's a variable lens Zcam, and then we have a 20x Zcam. And these are for those less expensive shots, maybe the lower budget shots where you just need a single static camera or a wide angle camera where you don't need pan tilt zoom. And I thought that was a really good idea because it kind of lowers the budget a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could actually say that it was my idea for the 20X, but we did have somebody come to the booth and they said, I love the PTZs, they're great cost, but I don't always need the PTZ, so to make it easy on them, we put the 20X.
It's interesting that you said that because a lot of the ideas, a lot of the innovations that are around today are literally from the folks who come to these trade shows, and it's not like they're complaining. It's that they're offering suggestions, and if you listen to them, some of them are actually pretty good, and it helps you sell more cameras, and it helps them buy more because you have the functionality that they request.
Is that not like pretty much how you get all of our inspiration for updates?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, at this point, it used to be we had nothing. Nobody knew who we were originally, and we were coming up with our own ideas. But yeah, now it's just a flood of ideas that
Well,
comes
it's a testament to your ability to change with the times and listen, and certainly you do that all the time.
Yeah, once you get a following on social media, the ability to crowdsource ideas is incredible. In fact, another one of the good ideas that came out was Matt decided to do a 30x optical zoom, which is quite a lot of optical zoom, but the larger churches, the sports venues, the football fields, we felt like 30x really is going to reach into those larger spaces.
That's a big request for us as well.
Yeah, and one of the key things that I tried to maintain, the 20X is our hottest selling camera. We maintain the exact same field of view and the exact same low light capabilities going into a 30X model.
All right, let's talk a little bit about pricing. Can you tell us what these will run?
Yeah, so the very base models that are available in gray and white start at $1599. So this is $1599, the 20X is $1699, and the 30X is $1799.
You got
and that's
it.
the 12X there.
So it's very simple. The way Matt priced it, with a $100 difference between a 20X or a 30,
right? It's a no-brainer.
Really just which one do you need? Do you need that long zoom or not? Now I do think that the 30X price being so close to the 20X, I would go with the 30 if it was me.
Right, of course.
The extra
So would I.
functionality.
Yeah. I mean, we just want people to use the right camera for the job, not try and shoehorn the wrong camera in to do the job.
All right, another question for you. I purchased one of your cameras. I'm new. I'm a beginner. We just started a church. I don't know how to work it. I read the manuals. I need help. Can I call you?
Yeah, so our support department is one of the things that people just rave about. You call in. If we get enough phone calls, we'll actually create documents. So what you're describing, we've literally created a 20-page manual that walks through how you look at your space, where you put the cameras, how you plan the cabling, so that you don't need to know anything. You just follow this manual and you call if you've got any questions.
Right. That's the mark of a good company to me. And if you're watching the Gadget Professor show, you know that I have certain little rules about things, and support is a big one, especially when you get into these types of devices. Once you learn how to use them, it's very simple. But there may be a switch or a little thing here or there that you have to adjust, and sometimes it's hard to figure out which one that is. So you can call these folks, and they'll answer the phone, or they'll actually talk to you. And you guys have been known to actually call people back after they have a problem to see how they're doing, and that's pretty extraordinary, to be honest with you. And I'm pretty proud of that. So that's another reason why I have you here.
Yeah, I mean, our team is really invested. They love what they do, whether it's support or sales or working on even the finances. Everybody loves what we're doing.
Yeah, our support staff has written hundreds of articles, which we have posted on our knowledge base. So that's a lot of content available to customers to access with any common questions. And we do have 3 live shows a week where we also interact
well, let's talk
with our
about those.
customers
Tell
as
the
well.
folks about the 3 live shows.
Yeah, so PTZOptics has 2 live shows. We have one on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, broadcast to YouTube and Facebook. And we interact with our customers, and we help them with common questions, and we also just share some valuable things from the industry that we think will be helpful to them.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, part of our kind of tying both those things together, one of the things Tess and I like to do is take the knowledge base, which could be kind of dry for people who maybe don't know what the issues could come up.
Right.
And we try to take the knowledge base and then make it into like a live show where we're saying, hey, did you know you could do this? Or did you know this is a common issue that a lot of people are having? And I think people, even if they don't have cameras yet, or they're thinking about starting a show one day, or maybe they're a reseller that wants to know about all the different types of issues that could come up on the field.
Sure.
Tess and I try to bring those things to light and then also do a lot of just reporting on what's going on in this world. We have a Facebook user group where thousands of people are posting what they're doing. And
That's
we
how
bring
you
that
learn.
content.
I mean, that's how you get educated in this business. And the beauty of it is it's free. You just dial in, you watch this, and you'll be surprised what you learn. And you're actually going to enhance your skill sets by watching these shows, because you're going to get a little piece here, a little piece there, and then all of a sudden one day that light bulb's going to go off and say, hey, wait a minute. And I got to tell you, the folks at PTZOptics are experts at doing this, and you've been doing this for a while, so I commend you for that. As your product has grown, and that's why, again, they keep their eyes, their ears open to what's going on in the industry.
Doesn't help we have a genius over here, so
That's good. It's all good.
You could say that. I don't know if I would, but
he's humble.
Yeah, last night Matt was working with Andrew Cross, the CTO, really the brains behind the CTO and the CEO of NewTek.
No question about that.
You guys have been working really hard together. It's very interesting to see 2 engineers, one from NewTek and one from PTZOptics, working together so closely, because NewTek has things that maybe they want to get out into the world. With partners specifically. So whether it's a new product that they're saying, we've got this, how would you market it? And we've got, they're building these tools. One of the things that Andrew Cross is just doing, I can't believe, he's just building tools after tools, because he knows in 2-3 years, there's just going to be millions of people saying, why can't I use my iPad to stream with 5 different audio sources? And why can't I swipe?
Yeah.
Why?
He's certainly a visionary. I'll tell you something that you don't know about me. My company, Multimedia Communications, is the oldest reseller of NewTek product in the world.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, we started with them when they first came out, and we were using the Amiga, and that's what it was. And that was a crazy machine, way ahead of its time.
but
So
you saw the future at that. You knew it was coming.
I did. And I'm just getting the time that my future is over here.
Okay.
We're going to wrap it
Thank
up.
you so much
Having
for
too much
having us.
fun
I
over here.
really appreciate you squeezing us into your busy schedule. Go to PTZOptics.com, and they will tell you everything that you need to know. Call them, PTZ, excuse me. And I will tell you that I use their cameras, and LiveView is using their cameras, and they have functioned absolutely flawlessly, and Paul Richards is a real good guy. If you have any issues, I guarantee you personally that he will help you out. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
coming
much,
in.
Don.
Thank you.